Shooting the shiznit, shooting the shiznit. Best little wrestling podcast in the business. Your host BT and all his guests. You'll never know who he'll have next. Shooting the shiznit, shooting the shiznit. Best little wrestling podcast in the business. Shooting the shiznit.
All right, we're live from 304 Studios in Jonesboro, Arkansas. This is an STSpod.club production. Remember, guys, live, 5-minute time limit. Whoa, there went my lights. Every first Tuesday of the month. This is episode 12 of 5-minute time limit. Episode 980 of STSpod.club. If you enjoy the show and want to show your appreciation, you can cash app us at $BTSTS. Let me first introduce my first guest, and then I'll put the timer up there. It's my old buddy. He's always first. He's always first. And there's a reason why, because he's my best friend. There we go. Best friend from Philadelphia. Even though he likes the Eagles and beat me in a fantasy what is it? Fantasy football last year. So there we go. Jamie, how the hell are you?
Well, it's only appropriate that my Eagles won the Super Bowl and I beat you in fantasy football championship last year. So
yeah, there you go. So it's always there. All right, let's get started.
Yeah, let's talk some wrestling.
You got 5 minutes. You and me are kind of unusual in the sense that we don't only watch old wrestling, we will watch the new stuff too, and we keep up to date. A lot of guys our age just don't like it or just don't watch current wrestling. We talked right before we went online. What was your thoughts last night about the segment with CM Punk and Becky Lynch?
A great segment. I mean, back in the Attitude Era, you know that he would have just leveled her, body slam, Stone Cold Stunner or something like that. Boy, how times have changed, because a man's not laying his hands on a woman anymore, you know, in wrestling, because it's not politically correct. But it sure must have been, if it was legit, it must have been really hard for him not to just go ahead and level her. But I loved it. I thought it was a great segment, and obviously they're setting up her to be the mouthpiece of the Vision while Paul Heyman takes a little break for a while.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that part of it, but they did keep mentioning Paul's not here kind of thing. I liked the Becky Lynch thing with Nia Jax just a little bit when it got into the when she smashed her nose and she was the man, and then all of a sudden I just started hating on her again. I'm just not a huge Becky Lynch fan. Most of the time I will skip her matches on pay-per-view, which I did this past Sunday.
And I can understand that, BT. She's as she was raising to the top level, she was somebody you could get behind, because she was somebody that wasn't supposed to get to that top level. The fans made her elevated to that point. But for some reason, I've heard that she's the one that wants to be the heel. Why? I don't know. I guess because Ric Flair always enjoyed being a heel, but she'd rather be a heel than a face. And I like the Lyra stuff that they did, but I'm still not wild about her, the heel. But now I can get behind her being with her husband, because if it goes where we're all thinking that AJ Lee is coming, it'll be nice to see AJ Lee. I never thought she was that great, but it'll be great to see her again. But then again, they've also teased it could be going into Rhea Ripley possibly.
I saw that. In Chicago, if AJ walks out on Friday, that they are going to lose their shit. And this is the perfect opportunity to bring her back, because I don't personally think it would have meant something, because she's Punk's wife, but I don't think it would have meant as much as it's going to mean right now, especially after what they did. I just love that segment last night. I thought it was just probably one of the best segments TV from start to end. in 2025. That's saying a lot, but TV wise, I think it really was just one of those things where, we're not supposed to hit a woman, Jamie.
That's right.
But God, I wanted him to punch her right in the face. So I mean, that's me as a fan, and knowing that they're not going to do that in this day and age. But she came off as just a great heel.
I'm part Irish, so I can say this. She was an Irish firestorm. And you looked in her eyes, and kind of like, certain wrestlers, you look in their eyes, and if you didn't know what was actually going on, you swear this is actually how she feels. She's going to stand behind her man. She's going to support her man. And she don't care if he's good or bad because she loves him, and she loves him the way he is. Even if CM Punk tells her that she's got bad taste in men.
I think the idea that makes it so good is that the things that we do know are real. Seth and her are married, and they've not been, they've not made that a secret, and they're really not making that secret now on commentary. But we all know that, and so that's part of it too. And we all know there is a legit history there with CM Punk and Seth Rollins. Whether there's real heat, who knows? But we can all sit there and say, they might not like each other. So, and that was always when we liked it the most back in the old days.
Because we knew Flair and Dusty didn't care for each other. So you always look for them not to be pulling the punches. I know my time's just about up. I'll see you later, BT. So
thanks,
long from
man.
Philadelphia, the city of champions.
Your time is up.
All right, Scotty. Jamie got a little crazy there because he didn't beat me in the Fantasy Bowl. By the way, I didn't make it to the Fantasy Bowl.
Yeah, Mr. Drafted Josh Allen in the first round.
All right, we're not talking about fantasy football. And let me just say this: I don't know what the fuck I was thinking, but here we go. Let's get you 5 minutes going. All right, we're just talking about Becky Lynch and CM Punk. I want to bring it back to the pay-per-view and the angle that they ran. You got a chance to watch the Paris pay-per-view?
Parts of it, I did. The important parts, yeah.
Watching it, not really live. I watched it the next morning. I was totally shocked, and that's when I really still like wrestling, when they do things that I really don't see coming. I knew Becky would eventually come into the storyline with Paul Heyman and them, but I didn't see it happen on Sunday, and that's what I liked the most about it. Meltzer was talking about, and you'll see this when I finish it, that WWE wants a moment. You remember, I was always told, leave the building with the fans happy. But right at the end, you want the fans happy. They don't do that anymore. They leave it with a moment. Every pay-per-view almost ends with something happening. Do you think that's a better way of doing it?
It's a different way of doing it. I mean, I don't know. I don't think the old way would work, especially with the short attention span kids have nowadays. They want it. They want it now. They want it when they want it, how they want it, where they want it. If you don't give it to them, they're going to throw a fit about it. So I mean, it is a good way because it creates little, I guess, YouTube and TikTok and Instagram snippets that they can clip for 30, 40 seconds at a shot, and hopefully, bring more people to watch it. But I don't know. We'll see.
Man, I learned that with all the clips that I do, it brings people to your podcast, and that's actually what almost every podcast does now. They're just looking for for that soundbite. But WWE is always looking for something like that. I enjoyed the Logan Paul and Cena match because they did shit in between the moves that I'm really, I guess, a nerd for. in the sense that you slow down and do something before you do a move. What's your Logan?
Oh, you mean like letting it breathe?
Yes. Yeah, AEW never lets it breathe. There's just move after move after move. Somebody went through a table, they'll jump up 5 seconds later. Someone went through a table on the Sunday pay-per-view, and we didn't see them for the rest of the match. And that's the kind of shit I like. I like the idea of having psychology, and they did in the main event. And you know, I always tell people when you're doing a triple threat or 4-way, you're shit canning it. You're shit canning people and making it a singles match. That is what you want to do a lot of times.
Mm-hmm.
But I got stuck on psychology. I could talk hours about that. What's up with Logan Paul? What's your thoughts on Logan Paul? 23 or 24 matches under his belt so far. What's your thoughts?
Like him or hate him, the dude's good. He was able to hang with Cena. I know Cena's, 48, 50 years old at this point, but still, the man's a machine, and he was there move for move. Sometimes better move for whatever move he was given. So I mean, you can't deny that he's actually giving it effort, and he's trying to actually learn instead of just being I'm a star, I'm going to do what I want and just come and go. He's actually sticking around, so got to give him credit. But he is super talented.
Just a natural with it. Almost the thing about it is almost everything the dude touches except maybe crypto.
YouTube videos,
they turn gold, man. That's what got him over, man. Except that one
one. Yes.
He almost he killed a lot of his stuff with that. But to me, it's guys like that could do almost anything and be good at it. I think it's funny if you listen to some of his podcasts. I think it was the one with Cody. He didn't even know AEW or the independents or any of that existed. He didn't know the independents existed.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I guess that's like saying you've never heard Van Halen play before, but I guess whatever helps you sleep at night.
There you go. But he was like, "What? You went to the independents? You went to the independents?" All right, Scotty. Thank you for joining us again.
Your time is up.
All right, Mo Buddy again. We got a bunch of repeats. Good.
Woo!
Yeah, I like it. I like repeat. What was that old joke? Pete and repeat sitting on the fence.
Yeah.
Forget it.
Good stuff, man.
Stupid joke. All right, hold on. Let me get your timer going. 5 minutes. 5 minute time limit.
I feel like
I brought you
King Kong Bundy with his 5 count.
Oh, love that gimmick.
Count to 5. Count to 5.
I actually helped them put that on a local guy one time, so he used it.
Nice.
So I brought you on because I listened to you in WrestleCopia. You and Ray Russell, y'all did the old Memphis stuff, and we talked about that. But you're doing ICW now.
Yes.
With 2 or 3 sentences, tell us what ICW was.
Well, basically, it was the promotion that the Poffo started in Kentucky. So Angelo Poffo and Randy Poffo, Randy Savage and Lanny Poffo could work together as a family. And they lived on this kind of shoestring budget and existed for like 4 to 5 years, just doing basically what you call spot shows, just doing National Guard armories and local high schools and things like that. Incredibly low budget television, really not great booking. and all these guys that would go on to be like really big stars, a lot of big stars in that promotion. So
just go through the list of some names there.
Well, of course, obviously, Randy Savage, one of the most iconic wrestlers of all time. And he was the featured wrestler, And then you have Ronnie Garvin, who's future NWA world champion. Ronnie was the big baby face. Lanny Poffo, of course. Pez Whatley, who went on to have big runs in WCW. You had One Man Gang, who was Crusher Broomfield there. He was like brand new in the business. His first time working full time was in that territory. Bob Orton was one of the original guys that came from Knoxville. He's key in the early WrestleManias. Bob Roop,
who would go on to, win titles in Mid-South and Georgia and things like that, and book in several different places. So it's interesting. You have all these guys that go on to be pretty big stars. Rip Rogers was one of the people that was there for most of the run of the promotion. But the thing is, they ran the same feuds for long times. It got stale. They couldn't bring fresh talent in because they were an outlaw promotion running against Jarrett and, running against the established promotion. So some people wouldn't want to work for them for that reason. And as Rip Rogers told me personally, you were just making enough money to get by. If you were a Bob Orton or a Bob Roop and you were used to actually making money wrestling, you weren't real happy.
Right.
And you're just in survival mode. But,
we've heard how cheap Angelo Poffo was and the miser.
Right.
But one of the fun, you talk about some of the stuff that, people were all staying in the hotels, 16 people in one room
Yes.
and stuff like that. What got me was that you said there's a TV taping and probably no evidence of it, but they have cardboard audience figures in it.
Right.
Tell that real quick there.
Yeah, that comes from Jim Cornell telling the story about the first tapes. They would tape like on a Thursday morning. And a lot of times there's like 10, 15 people who have no interest in what they're seeing. I mean, there's no crowd reaction at all. And they taped, I think, 10 tapes in 2 days at the beginning of the promotion. And they just, got people working in the television studio or girlfriends of wrestlers or whatever. And that was like the first row. And they didn't have a second row. So they just kind of put cardboard cutouts to look like there were more people than they were. But yeah, a lot of times, really like 10, 15 people watching these matches. And so the television production was so horrible. And I think that's one of the reasons it never really got off the ground. And I had that discussion with Rip Rogers, actually. I met him years ago at a Mid-Atlantic convention. And I was talking about ICW and all the people that went on to be big stars. And the first thing he said to me is, we didn't know anything about television production.
Right, yeah.
And the announcers were not into it. You could tell they were just there for a paycheck. And so all like the things that you need to make studio wrestling work, it didn't matter what was happening in the ring. You had no audience reaction. You had no announcer reaction. So everything just kind of came off flat. But we're going to be telling a lot of fun stories as we go.
I can't wait, man. I really love the Memphis. I got one quick question, and you got your time's up. In my mind, I watched ICW when I was staying overnight with my aunt in Marmaduke, Arkansas.
Yes.
Was that possible?
Yeah, because that's where it's at. I grew up in Rector, and it came on at 10 o'clock on this Memphis station, and it ran 10 to 11, and then Memphis wrestling came on. So
all right, so I didn't dream that. Sometimes my memory's not that good. Steve, thanks for joining us again.
Your time is up.
Hello, Stacy. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Stacy, let me tell you something before I start your 5 minutes. Guess who is not in the waiting room right now? The Duchess.
Really?
You may have the record here tonight. She said she may show up, but it'll be late. She's auditioning for something. So
Ooh-wee, how fancy.
Yeah.
What episode is this for me?
This will be your 12th episode, and officially next time is the 1-year anniversary. It started in October of 2024, and we will be doing a special episode for the anniversary. I come up with something. I'm not going to spoil it right now, but it should be really fun.
Do I get 2 5-minute slots?
Maybe. Let's do this. Let's do the commercial break first, and then we'll come back with you, okay?
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Don't miss Memphis Wrestling Live. Friday, September 5th, meet Buff Bagwell live at the Dyer County Fair. next Saturday, September 6th. Don't miss Wrestling Night with the Memphis Redbirds. Thursday, September 11th, Memphis Wrestling Tag Teams with the Pine Grove Baseball for a huge fundraiser in Ripley, Mississippi. Friday, September 12th, Memphis Wrestling returns to the Lauderdale County Fair with free admission. Sunday, September 21st, meet former WWE luchador Kalisto. Sunday, October 12th, don't miss our annual Halloween Spooktacular. All tickets are on sale now. Get yours right now at memphiswrestling.tv.
Mark your calendars because war is coming to Mark Tree, Arkansas. On Saturday night, September the 13th, the Allied Independent Wrestling Federation collide at MCW as Atomic Legacy Wrestling invades MCW. Pure chaos, it's the invasion. At 802 Liberty Street. The doors open at 5 and the action explodes at 6 o'clock. Rivals will be settled and grudges will be crushed. In a grudge match, two warriors step inside the ring looking for nothing less than destruction. Who will survive? And if that's not enough, the fans themselves will become part of the action in a fans lumberjack strap match. Yeah, you heard that right. You, the fans, will surround the ring and bring the pain. The stars of ALW, the champions of MCW, all under one roof for one night only. The legacy continues, but only one side will stand tall when the smoke clears. Don't miss the invasion, September the 13th, 802 Liberty Street, Mark Tree, Arkansas. Tickets at the door. Be there when a history is made live and in living color. Card subject to change, all rights reserved. Tonight, yeah, it's 7 p.m. Central Time. It's me, BT, hosting a very special episode of Shooting Star. I'll be sitting down with Dustin Starr and Coach Pillar, the co-promoters of the Tupelo Super Show, benefiting St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. This is going to be raw, uncensored, unfiltered. Get the real behind-the-scenes scoop on scheduling, booking, promotion, and raising money for an incredible cause. Plus, hear exclusive details on working with WWE Hall of Famer Rikishi. Post your questions in the comments and take part in the conversation live tonight. Only on Memphis Wrestling members only. Join today for early access to new episodes, backstage photos, never before seen matches, custom emojis, badges, and much more. Don't miss it. Tonight. Be there. 9 p.m. Central.
Saturday on TV. It's only the beginning. Now it's time to play.
All right. I said 7 p.m. Central at the very beginning of that commercial, and 9 p.m. It's 9 p.m.
Wide variety.
Woo! We are going to, let me just say, it's called Shooting Star for a reason, and there is going to be lots of stuff about Rikishi.
Nice.
I have not been told anything. I've just been told that it could be interesting. Just put it that way. So I can't find my. Is this sad? I can't find my timer. It disappeared on me.
Don't want to give me too much time. Let me just start plugging everything. I've got nothing. I've got nothing to plug.
All right, let me get me a timer here before we get started. I don't know where it went on the. Oh shit!
What kind of crap?
I don't know,
is
Mickey
this?
Mouse fucking thing. All right, I got a 5-minute timer. I'll let you know when your time is up.
Oh,
what
well, yeah.
the hell is going on, Stacy?
Oh, no, a lot. No, I was watching Bob's Burgers and, a podcast and making notes and,
So you had an interesting
I did.
interaction. Shout out to Brandon. Go ahead and talk to us about it.
So, visitors out in the wild.
That's right.
I was wearing my red shooting the shiznit Hulk Hogan style shirt. I walk into Emerald's Triangle because I was getting some more vape juice because quit smoking cigarettes. It's been almost 10 months now. And this guy, he has this moment of how do you this weird I recognize your shirt, and so he's a fan of the podcast. He's a fan of follower of Mean Gene Jackson and now of the podcast, and we had a good conversation about wrestling and how fun it is to be an adult wrestling fan at this point.
Wow.
And it is fun to go to Walmart and someone's wearing a wrestling shirt and you're that's cool. It's fun to be a part of it still.
It's weird because sometimes it's I don't really want to talk to no one about wrestling, but occasionally I will run into somebody that is, I hate to say smart, but that's what we call smart fan, that knows what's going on, or is just a huge fan. And I like to listen to people. And when I go to cons, that's one of the things that I like to do is that I will sit down and then ask them what they watch, who's your favorite wrestler, blah, blah, blah. I remember talking to this girl right when AEW had started coming on, and her complaint was it's hard to watch if you miss it. If you miss the live version, it's hard to watch. They've corrected that, but you never think of things like that. I'm not sure where I was going with this conversation. And no, I haven't had a gummy. But so tell me, Becky Lynch, Seth Rollins, you're a huge Seth Rollins fan, right?
I don't know, man. It's weird. It's so weird to me. And I don't like, and you know how I feel about women's wrestling. I don't like it. I miss Liv so much. It's weird to me. I don't like Becky Lynch as a human being. I don't like her as a wrestler. I don't like her.
I read on Twitter she doesn't like you either. So
good.
There you go.
Good. And we used to be pen pals back in the day, and she never returned some things that I sent her. It was my Lisa Frank ink pens. She never returned them. And she was my only pen pal from Scotland. And I mean, we're done.
Right. I just, I'm actually loving it. Loving the whole angle with her. And like I said, when I was talking earlier with Jamie, I find it because I know there's some realness there to it. There's a history with Punk. With Punk and Seth. I think it was one of my favorite segments. I said one of the best of the year, but I guess just personal favorite. It was one of my personal favorite segments on television. Great TV is what we used to do that when we were doing shows. We would do promos and we'd come backstage and somebody would go, "Oh, great TV. And that meant that the promo went, the way it should have went and everything. But it's just the way it felt. I really liked it. And like I said, I'm not a Becky Lynch fan at all. Always hated the whole everything she was wearing. But if she wears it with Seth now, then it's all
So
gonna mean
weird.
something. Yeah, yeah.
So weird. And it makes like I really like Paul Heyman. Like I don't want him to go anywhere. I don't want her to be the mouthpiece.
Yeah, I never thought about that, but I guess he's just taking some time away. But yeah. That's what it looks like they're going to end up doing. I didn't even think of that until Jamie said it. I'm sorry,
time
but
is up.
all right. We got Will. Will, I don't know what happened to my timer, and I'm just going to start one over here. So, imaginary timer. They won't be able to see it on the video, but the people just listen to the audio. They'll know it when I play that little "Your time is up." How's it going, Will? I can't hear you, man.
Okay, how about now?
There we go. Let me start your 5 minutes over. All right. So your 5 minutes is going now. How the hell are you?
I'm doing great. How are you, BT?
Man, I want to apologize that as I was doing the episode last week, I was going to give you you and King Davis a shout out, and I couldn't remember your name. And I told my wife, I said, that's pretty fucking bad when my first name is Will, and I couldn't remember his first name. And she said, why do you think you forgot his first name? And I said, well, I got to confess something. And she said, what? I said, well, I had ate a gummy about an hour before I started recording Rolling Into Memphis. So that might be something to go back and listen to. I never did go back and listen to it, but I was having some pain in my shoulder, and I was like, man, this will chill me out. But I think that's the reason I forgot your name. So are you caught up on Memphis wrestling?
I believe so. I don't know what's happened with the most recent tapings, of course. I know you and I like to stay spoiler free but I am looking forward to watching the Tupelo show later. That'll be fun.
No, that is gonna be interesting. I've got all kinds of notes I was given to Dustin. Hardly ever gives me notes. He just lets me go. He said, "Ask this if you want a good response." So it should be fun. Yeah. So what was your thoughts on Thatcher coming in and Carlito?
I mean, Dustin uses those guest talents very well. I think they're never. I mean, when they do get over on the regular roster or the regular stars, it's usually done in a way that still helps the star. It gives them some exposure, like getting knocked out by Butterbean. I mean, that didn't hurt Main Event Bradley at all.
No, not at all.
And so, yeah. About Becky Lynch, you said you hadn't always been a fan. I have. Since the first part, I have always thought I was very excited when she made it to the main event and went to WrestleMania 35. It was 35, right? 35.
I don't know. Don't ask me.
But the big time Bex character that she did when she went heel, I hated it. I just said it's not working. And when they put her with Seth Rollins for a little bit there, it's kind of funny how they were married, but they seem to have no chemistry whatsoever on the screen. I think that is completely a complete 180 now from what she's doing now, and it fits with Seth Rollins, and they're both being heels, and I really do love this heel run by Becky Lynch. So, and if it's AJ Lee, we'll see. We'll see. I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to enjoy the ride.
They're going to lose their crap. They are going to lose it in Chicago. And I said this. I felt like I watched a little bit of stuff on Twitter today, and someone was saying, I think the guy, his name is JD from New York, was saying the same thing I was saying. It's one of those things where it might not have meant as much, but it seems like it really, really will mean something now with that angle that they did last night. So what was your thoughts of that? Did you like her and Punk face to face like that?
Oh, it was intense. I mean, it really got uncomfortable with her slapping on, because in the back of your mind, like, oh, was she supposed to do it that much? what? But and you just didn't know. And Punk really looked like he was legit irritated, and so it made it just very uncomfortable, but very entertaining.
And like Jamie said, old school wrestling, we would have had him grab her and either pile driver or spank her ass or do something like that. And that's just not something we do now. I think it's just a good thing. I don't want, I grew up that way. It didn't make me want to beat women, but some people see that. That's the way children see stuff. And I'm glad they did what they did. Here's what I liked. After he got out of the ring, she still would not shut up. She kept on. She was on his ass the whole time. And I was just like, geez, this is good. But yeah, I really got into it. And then Jamie made the reference that maybe we got her as the voice because of Paul Heyman being, doing the injury angle with Heyman. So, all right, man, I appreciate you coming on.
Your time is up.
Thanks, PT.
All right. King Davis, how the hell are you? I hadn't been able to hear you yet.
There, I'm unmuted.
There you are. How the hell are you?
I'm good.
I'm trying to get my timer going back. I don't know what happened to the timer that's on the screen. It's not on there. So 5 minutes has started. It seems like we're going to talk about Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins. I've been really. What would you think about the angle last night?
I saw it coming. When is Becky coming in? When is Becky coming in? I knew it was coming. I didn't know it was last night, but yeah, I knew it was coming.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't. When the person came into the ring, I had no idea who the person was on Sunday on the pay-per-view. And then when she ripped the stuff off, I was like, I popped for it. One of those things, like I said, where you don't see you. When they started this, you saw that they was gonna probably put her with them. You always thought she's gonna go with them, but I thought she did a fantastic job last night with Punk.
She did, yeah. But if they were in Memphis, he would have pile drove her ass.
Or ECW.
ECW is the one. We're still old school around here. I actually had a comment about that. We do quite a bit of intergender matches in Memphis.
Right.
I had a lady that goes to all the shows, and she says she really doesn't like it. I guess because of the way it looks, a man beating on a woman. But I mean, she knows just like I know. It's just a show. But still, she doesn't like it.
I can see it. I understand why you wouldn't like it, but I also, what you said, we all know it's a show. It's like us watching. I always bring up SVU because it's one of the most violent TV shows. They'll have a rape or something on there, and they show it. We know they're not raping. We know they're not hit. And Ellsworth kicked Zaya Wolf on Memphis Wrestling. Tried to put a chain on his foot, but he didn't ever get it on, I don't think. And knocked her.
His ass though.
Yeah, and knocked him out. Knocked her out for a couple weeks, but when she came back, boom, and got her revenge. But one of those things when you're on a national audience on Netflix, you're not going to see him grab her like that. But I just thought it was so good.
Well, talking about that, my wife is a cop show fanatic. NCIS, she can watch it one after another. But that show you referred to, she won't watch because it is so real and so violent.
You can get into that show and have to take a break from it. You really do. There's so much trauma going on that you can't. I told the wife that we're watching House again. And I said, every time I get an ache or a pain, I'm walking around going, what I got? Cancer? I got cancer in my foot now? You got cancer in my neck? What's going on? I'm wanting to diagnose myself. What else was at the Tupelo? Was you at the Tupelo show?
I was at the Tupelo show. I did a 3-day weekend. I went to Tupelo, I went to Gleason, and I went to the taping on Sunday. So I was wore out by Sunday night.
I bet. So that was a huge crowd at Tupelo. Did you hear
Oh, it
any?
was
Did
great.
you hear any whispers about Rikishi being an asshole?
No, not
Oh,
at all. Dustin came up to me after the show on Sunday, which he normally does, because I hang out after the show. He's
Right.
like, "How was Rikishi to you?" He was great. So the fans out front, he signed autographed, he shook hands, took pictures just like his son. His son is
awesome.
freaking huge. I can't remember his name right now, but his son is huge. He's
Yeah,
gonna be huge. He's gonna be right there with him. But no, not a bit of that out front. And I've heard this before from Dustin. To put on a show out front and then in the back they're assholes.
Yeah, it happens. It really does. I've worked with people that I could not stand to talk to, but I've always been a professional with them. If they, I just don't want to be stiffed in front of the crowd or anything like that. But I may not like you, but I can work with you. I've always been able to do that.
Yeah.
I've
Oh,
always
that's
tried
why I
to
brought
be
the,
someone- What is
that's why I
that?
brought the Rikishi belt out.
Oh no, he signed that.
It showed up a day late, just my luck.
Oh my God! There you go. That shit like that happens. All right, your time is up, man. I appreciate
Your
it.
time is
Thanks
up.
for joining. Oh my God!
I made it.
Stacy, I done announced that you wasn't gonna make it. It didn't
Oh,
seem like it. How'd your audition go?
Oh, it went well. They had me read ridiculous things, of course.
All right. Before we get your timer started,
Yes.
I've got to share something with you.
Okay.
This is your 12th appearance, and
Yes.
next month we're doing a special 1-year anniversary episode, and
Wow.
I'll tell you,
Uh-huh.
I'll tell everybody what it is. But
Mhm.
I want to share with you, let me just say it, the Duchess equals downloads. I
Okay.
don't usually do this until the WTF, but last month, August, the numbers came in. I've got all the numbers. WTF was number 3 most played. This is just the audio play.
Okay.
Number 2 was 5-minute time limit with the Duchess was on it.
Aw.
And the number 1 episode, audio plays only, hit me with your first shot.
That was a fun show. I enjoyed that a
I'm
lot.
just so happy because it's not in my wheelhouse, and I
You
had
did good.
such a good time doing it.
It was a lot of fun to
and
do.
I appreciate it. I appreciate all the
Oh.
promotion and everything you did. Like I told you, we had
Oh, yeah.
first day really good first day numbers, but then it turned out being the most played. All right, your 5
Well,
minutes
till the
start.
next one. Till the next one. And the
Yeah,
next
there
one
we go.
will kill
Yeah,
me,
that's
so
right.
it's all good.
My timer's not working at the top. I
Oh,
don't
dear.
know. It disappeared.
Yeah.
But I've got you going over here. So I
Mhm.
always give you homework.
You do.
You're an old time fan that watch the current stuff, but I give you a few things to watch. Did you
Mhm.
get a chance to watch them?
I did. I did.
What
once.
about the AJ Styles crowd reaction?
That was insane. That was insane. Like all he that's all it was just the entrance. It was amazing. Like coming from old school like WWF, like 80s, last century wrestling. This kind of reaction is crazy to see. Like just the lights and the production. It's amazing. I was like, wow. They've come a long way.
I want to
mean,
say it's like the 1980s on steroids, but the 1980s were on steroids. So there you go.
no, but I get that. It was like
yeah.
that excitement, like that, and just times a ton more people and a lot of freaking lights.
And that the
Amazing.
foreign country, what WWE has done, and it's very
Mhm.
similar to what the NFL is. The idea is with the NFL, they learned this, that there's just so many fans. Okay.
Yes.
And they have reached almost, the NFL has the tipping point. So we have to go somewhere else to
Right.
get more fans. So
No,
WWE
that's
is
why they're
like,
going to Ireland and
yeah.
Scotland and England. They're which is great because the fans are enormous over there too. Like it's just
Yes,
the
just
reactions.
crazy
Phenomenal.
reaction.
Yeah.
So we've been talking about it since the start with Jamie. You wasn't here the whole time, but we
Mhm.
have been talking about the angle I wanted you to watch
Oh yeah.
with Becky Lynch, her
That
husband
was
Seth Rollins,
nuts.
and
Yeah.
CM Punk. What'd you think?
It's funny the last gentleman that it's like you don't hit women, but I'm like I was just hoping for a good face push, like like it just like, but I you can't. I guess nowadays you can't do that, but yeah, in the '80s they would have definitely like just picked her up and right down, no questions asked. But yeah, she was a little sassy coming out there, all smack talking, but I thought there was a lot more hitting going on than I thought maybe what might have been should have happened. But
That's what everybody thinks, that maybe she went a little too far. I thought she
it
played.
seemed like she was having a great, like it was just a weird slapping, like she just kind of got carried away and just kind of kept doing it. And then she's like girly slapping him. I'm like, aren't you the champion? Like, are you supposed to hit like I'm a girl? Like, I mean, I'd have more respect if she hauled back, but then that would have required a response.
I really liked it. I talked about one of the best segments of all year long for me. But I'm going to tell you, I didn't mention this up to now, but it was one of those segments where I forgot everything I knew. And when she kept slapping him, I said this earlier, but he kept slapping her. I said out loud to the screen, if you don't stop, he's going to knock the fuck out of you. And I was like, oh, wait. But I remember there was a manager, Missy Hyde. I don't know if you know her. She was doing commentary one time on Memphis Wrestling. And I did that to the screen of Memphis Wrestling. Will you please just shut up? And I was like, oh, yeah, she's good.
Yeah.
She's good.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I thought last night. And, I don't know if you know this, but Punk's wife is a wrestler, former wrestler. Her name is AJ Lee.
Yep.
And that's what everybody is saying. They're building it to. And they're going to be in Chicago on Friday. So it should be interesting to see them. And Punk is from Chicago, and they live in Chicago. So it should be interesting to see what direction they go.
It's going to be a rumble. For sure.
I actually love it. They've got a big show coming up. Their very first pay-per-view on ESPN, and they've got Cena against Lesnar. They got, they just are stacking it like crazy.
That's going to be good, actually.
Yeah. It's going to be the very last Cena Lesnar match.
I couldn't believe they edited. Like I'm re-listening to it, and I guess when they start cussing around,
I don't know why they do that.
I guess I don't know. I'm like, since when do they edit? But okay, like it's not TV.
You can watch Netflix, and they say every word in the book, and they're doing every heinous act there is. But all of a sudden, when they're chanting, "You suck" or "fuck off," they're beeping it, and I'm like, wait.
I thought it was great. They're like the whole stadium
your time
chanting
is up.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Duchess. Boo. All right. I want to thank everyone. I appreciate it. Even with my technical difficulties, we did have a really fun time. Went almost 48 minutes with my friends. I appreciate it. Same bad time, same bad channel on the best little wrestling podcast in the business. Be there. And as everyone knows, I love my mama.